Now, when the miniseries Roots aired over 28 years ago, most of the African Americans living in the US were inspired to actually trace their roots, and most of them actually have found out later that their roots are traced back in Africa, African countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, etc. Now, over 100,000 African Americans in the US have found out that they are actually from Africa. Now, today we're going to be talking to one who actually did her DNA test and it landed back here in Uganda. I'm talking Ashlei Watson. Now, Ashlei Watson is the CEO and founder for the Ashlei Watson Foundation. She is a writer. She has a book out, The Poetic Tales, but then also she is a model. She's hit runways, and currently 2023, she's Miss Continental Europe, but from Uganda. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in fashion or you're a girl child, you better sit back, relax, bear forward, or even stand up. Now more than ever, I am yours truly, Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. Now, many thanks to all those who keep themselves glued onto the continent's leading intellectual platform. I'm talking about none other than The Desk, and all those who keep themselves on U24 television. Now, if it's Wednesday, it's all about The Desk, folks. Now, we're broadcasting here live at our home at Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill. I am talking UBC headquarters, but guess what? You are live on U24 television. Many thanks for joining us and talking to us, Ashlei. It's good to see you.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Right. It's the last time we talked was a year ago, but thank you so much. I'm following your social media and you're doing really recommendable work. Thank you so much for being hardworking, and we just want to start off by knowing who Ashlei Watson is for those who are seeing you for the very first time.
I can't believe it's been a year already. Hi, guys. My name is Ashlei Watson. I am the CEO of the Ashlei Watson Foundation. I am currently crowned Miss Europe Continental Uganda. You guys were introduced to me as Miss Global Uganda in 2021 to 2022. I'm a published author. I am a college graduate, and I am a child of God.
Impressive, impressive. We just want to find out, Ashlei, when did the Ashlei Watson Foundation begin, and what inspired you to start this foundation?
In 2021, I was presented with the opportunity to be crowned Miss Global Uganda. That pageant was taking girls all over the world, different parts of the world, Australia, Zimbabwe, the Philippines, to Bali, Indonesia, to compete in the pageant. So how the Ashlei Watson Foundation came about, I was thinking of ways to branch off and become a businesswoman, and I was like, what can I do with my crown? How can I give back? How can I reach people? And I decided to start the nonprofit organization, the Ashlei Watson Foundation.
Right, impressive. Now, I know you have worked with foundations here, like the Miss Uganda Foundation, like the Hollic Pads by Sheeba, Acts Foundation, Women of Valor Foundation. There's so many foundations that you are working with, even if you are not in the country currently. Do you have like a team? How are you able to pull this off?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to have a team that's based in the US and in Uganda. Remy Malay, she's been the face of it all, and I'm so grateful for her. Our first sort of big thing that we did a food drive in the slums of Kamwokya, which was extremely amazing. We were able to feed about 20 families, single mothers that were struggling, definitely, post-COVID, during the COVID pandemic. And I've been blessed to be in synergies with so many amazing people, such as the Sheeba Foundation, when we did the period poverty drive, and just so many amazing people that I've been able to be in synergies with. So it's been going good.
Right, very impressive right there. Now, Ashlei, where do you get this inspiration? Because you feed families in Kamwokya, struggling people all over in slums in Kampala, Uganda. Where do you get this inspiration? Because, I mean, someone would think, okay, let me just enjoy my life in America. I'm a young girl. Why the need?
Well, my brother is suffering from a mental illness, and ever since he was diagnosed back in 2013, me, my mother, and my brother were like a little triangle, and we've been struggling really bad here in America. My mom is a single mother, and there's been times during our journey that we couldn't feed ourselves, or I was in college and I couldn't go to class because I didn't have the proper feminine hygiene products, or I couldn't afford books and different things. So the inspiration actually came from my own trials and tribulations. And I wanted to kind of use my own life as an inspiration to help others.
But someone could be watching us right now and they're thinking this is too good to be true. They don't think that people in America actually go through such predicaments.
Yeah, I understand that wholeheartedly, but there is a lot of issues. The plight of women are the same all over the world. We all are suffering. Our youth is suffering, and social media is an amazing platform where we can peek into each other's lives. And just unfortunately, tragedy has struck my family, my immediate family. My brother's diagnosis has taken us kind of for a loop, and we have really struggled during that. You know, healthcare was hard to come by, certain things were hard to come by. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, but I do acknowledge that the privilege that I do have living in America, but there is a lot of poverty and a lot of struggles and strife as well.
Right. Now, talking about, before I go for a quick break, talking about, life in America, could you just paint for us a picture, you as an African, young African American living in America? How does it feel like? We watch a lot of movies and we think that's how you guys live.
Well, I'm from a state called New York. New York is one of the popular states out of the 50 states in America. It's like a melting pot. So you have different cultures, different people from all walks of life living here. It's very fast paced. It's all about the work, 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 the hustle and the grind. So what I can paint a picture is, think of like a big city, lots of lights. It does seem like glitz and glam, but just like every part of the world, America has its poverty ridden parts of it. And yes, that's just the picture that I can so much paint.
Right. Ashlei, let me go for a quick breather. But when I return, we talk about some of the activities, that you're doing down here. We microscopically look at them. But then also you tell us about the poetic tales that you wrote last year. But do not go away. We are still with Ashlei Watson live from New York, and we're coming back. And welcome back. You are still live on this desk edition where we are actually live in New York by way of Zoom. My name is Shadrach Kisame and you are watching The Desk here on U24 television. And remember, every time it's Wednesday, it's all about The Desk, folks. Now for you, if you are a parent to a girl child or you're a girl child, you better sit back and relax, because we are talking to one who is inspired and is doing something for her community, actually where her roots trace down back to. But you can follow our discussion on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do that for Shadrach Kisame and do that for U24 television. Now remember, you also can do it. That is what Ashlei Watson is telling us today. Ashlei, if we are to get back into the discussion that we're having here today, some people are watching you and they feel like Ashlei is talking because they are in the US. But I want you to assure people that even wherever you are, whatever part of the world you are, you can start and you can accomplish.
Absolutely. We live in a day and age where I call them dream catchers or dream stealers, where people are going to tell you that you can't do it. And I feel like that's what's so important about representation, even through the modeling or the poetry or just the pageantry. I think it's important that the world sees people like us. And once I walk through certain doors, or you guys walk through certain doors, it leads the way, or it paves the way for the youth or people behind you walking through the same doors. So I would just tell her, just keep going. And when one door closes, there's another door that may just be open wide for you. So it is definitely possible. If I can do it, you can do it as well. It's very possible.
Very possible. Now, some I know people have started Googling, the ones who are watching you right now, and they're trying to find out who you really are. Do you mind sharing your social media platforms and how they can follow you or link up with you?
Yeah, of course. So on Instagram, it's Ashlei Watson _, but I do spell my name a little different. It's Ashlei. Thank my lovely mother for that. And that's the same handle for Facebook, TikTok, and for my foundation page, it's the Ashlei Watson Foundation.org. All things that we're trying to do. There's a little area on the website where you can contact me and my team. And if you want to collab or you just want to reach out, all my information is there.
All right. So Ashlei, we shall get back to the foundation and the modeling in the last segment. But for now, just take us through your poem, journey, because you have a book, The Poetic Tales. And this is a compilation of poems, if I'm not wrong. Just take us through, how did you start to the level where you even launched a book? It was actually launched here in Uganda as well. And prominent people like Mama Miriam Matembe was there. How do we get here?
So what's funny is I was trying to figure out what's my talent. I'm like, I can't sing. I mean, I can dance and different things. And I was just going through my mind of like, who am I? What's my talent? What's my purpose? And I would write poetries and songs, but no one would read it. Like, I just did it for myself. It was like therapeutic. I can write my feelings. So my lovely business partner, her name is Remy. She was like, oh, like, let me read something. And then she instantly fell in love, and she gave me this idea of like, let's compose all the poems that you have into one story. So the Poetic Tales takes you on a journey of self-love, self-reflection, heartbreaks and heartaches. It's literally my innermost feelings written on a piece of paper. And the cool thing about it is we did a huge launch at the Latitude and so many people were there to show love and support. And I was tuning in via Zoom in America. We were doing our parties at the same time, and people were reading it and they really loved it. Which one poem that stuck out for people was titled Black Girl. It just goes through the journey, the trials and tribulations that Black women face, our insecurities, not feeling good enough compared to the European standard of beauty. And what's really cool is I feel like nowadays, which I'm so passionate about keeping the girl child in school, education isn't seen as something important as for young women and women all around the world. So I think being an author is something that I want to push. I want to push that. Yes, we're smart. We can write books. We can model. We can act. We can raise the children. We can do so much. So I think Poetic Tales is like a stamp of that.
Impressive. So how can people who are watching right now access the Poetic Tales here in Uganda or even globally?
Yeah, so it's being sold on Amazon.com. You just type in Poetic Tales of a Beauty Queen, and you'll be able to purchase the book via online. Also, if you follow my Instagram, I always have the link in my bio, and we do have some hardcovers that we have been doing different events, giving out. We're trying to get it in bookstores locally in the area in Uganda. So there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to do that you guys can have access to the materials. And I'm very excited to say I should be down in Uganda shortly. So I will be bringing my books with me. So yeah, it will be available everywhere.
Talking about coming to Uganda and bringing your material, What are those, some of those things that, you know, you read about or you find on the internet about Uganda and you're like, oh, really?
Everyone knows, if you know me, you know that I'm an avid coffee drinker. I have traveled, I've been blessed to travel different countries and state to state, and I'm always fixated on the coffee. And I heard that Uganda is like ranked the top in the top 5 all across the world with the best coffee. So that's something that I'm excited to taste. Also, I know that Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa, and the wildlife is something that is very prevalent. So I'm excited to see like the animals. I'm an animal lover. So that's something cool when I research. I'm like, ooh, like comparing the coffee, because I know US coffee is like down there. It's not at the top, but I know Uganda is.
Right. Before we go for a break, you know, these are places that are in Uganda and or in Kampala, Chikuba Mutwe, Chibuli, Kamwokya, and people are watching you right now. And a girl is watching you and they probably want to join poetry and probably publish a book like you. What would you tell them right now, because they may feel like, you know, it's taking so much time?
Have confidence in your craft. That's something that I struggle with. Like I said, I didn't want no one to read my poetry. Remy was probably like the first one. She's like, "Are you kidding? This is good." So I think that if you just keep writing and you have confidence in yourself, most importantly, pray to God. Allow God to guide you. It absolutely is possible. Women, we are good enough. You are good enough, and your voice deserves to be heard. That's why it's so cool being on platforms like yours and different platforms that I've been blessed with to push the message and to get my voice to be heard, because it's not just my voice. I'm representing a culture, my adoptive heritage and my native. And so I am not just my voice, I'm everyone's voice. So I would just tell her, yes, right? It's very therapeutic, it's very educational. It's yourself, and that's just the best way to do it.
So before we go for a break, Ashlei, how important have the people around you, say family and friends, contributed to the success of some of these projects, so that people who are watching should know the importance of family and friends?
And friends is pretty much everything. My mom and my brother together like glue, I always say. And without the community and without the help of the people, I'm pretty much thing. You know, I just a one woman army, but I do have a small knit group that helps. That's why it's good to get the message out there on different platforms, because I love to be in synergy with different organizations and I'm trying to grow. I would also say don't be afraid to be yourself and to express your dreams. I know a lot of times it seems silly, like, is my best friend going to support me? Is my parents going to support me? I encourage parents to be involved in their children's life and what they like and support them, because that support goes a long way. So family and friends is everything. The community is everything. And yeah, it's very important.
All right, very inspirational and, you know, convincing right there for all the parents and the people who are next to creative and people who are trying to do something right there. But let me go for a quick breather. When I return, we shall be winding up this discussion with Ashlei Watson, who is live from New York right now. But do not go away. You're on U24 television and you're live. All right, welcome back. You are still on the Desk, the continent's leading intellectual platform, actually the highest platform for solution finding. Now, many thanks to all those who keep themselves glued onto U24 television. We trust that every time you watch U24, you are inspired, you're motivated, but above all, you are educated. Now, if it's Wednesday, it's all about the desk, folks, here on U24 television. Remember, we're broadcasting live here at our home at Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill. I'm talking UBC headquarters, but guess what? You are live on U24 television, and today we are talking to Ashlei Watson, who is the founder for the Ashlei Watson Foundation that is doing so many things for the single mothers down here in Uganda. She's done so much charity in slums like Kawempe, giving out food, but also giving back to the community in so many things. But guess what? Her book, The Poetic Tales, is out on Amazon. Just look out for it, and you'll definitely be able to have a blast or even get inspired for you who are taking on the poetic journey. Now, Ashlei, before we went for a break, we were sharing and understanding the support, the mental support that comes with surrounding yourselves with positive people. You want to continue with that, even if it's not friends and family. You want to work in an environment that is filled with positivity.
I think our youth sometimes feels unheard, and you can see that the academic performances might not be as good, or you see depression is high and different things like that. And I think it starts with support and love from the home. So I do encourage that the parents do listen to your children, do believe in your children, and do positive words of affirmation. Let them know that they're beautiful. Let them know that they're smart. Let them know that they're good enough. And that's why the foundation is so important, because I'm providing resources for our youth so they can continue to chase their dreams. And that's all I really want. And what I really get out of that is, at a time where I didn't have maybe good support, some family issues or things like that of that nature alongside my journey as a young child, I wish I had someone to lend me a helping hand, or someone to provide certain resources for me just to help me to further in my dream. So I think that that's always the goal. I think our youth is so precious, and our kids are going to be presidents someday, and doctors and lawyers and store owners. And I think that it starts with building their confidence up now. So that's very important.
So Ashlei, in Uganda, we have issues where the girl child, the ones that are actually crossing from childhood to, their youthful or teenage age, have issues with sanitary pads. And I saw, you did one with the Hollic Pads by Sheeba. Do we see this continuing, or it was a one-off? Because every time we're talking to youths down there, the issue they talk about is sanitary towels.
Oh, we're absolutely planning on doing something. And that's what my foundation, there's key points that we focus on, and period poverty is something that we're very passionate about. And the Sheeba Cares Foundation, we were able to be in synergy with them, and what we were able to do was just so amazing to see that if you just provide a lending hand, what our girls can do, what they're capable of. I mean, they were so cute, so beautiful, the kids are, and they deserve. It's not like it's a privilege. They absolutely deserve to have certain feminine hygiene products. They deserve to be educated. They deserve to go to school. It's their right. So I think that we're just going to keep branching off and keep expanding and doing these drives and help our girls out.
So since you're focused more on the girl child and the single mothers, what are some of the things that, because a lot of government, government people watch the show, policymakers, parents, stakeholders in these all institutions. What can we do better, to empower the girl child that probably we are not doing better, or we can improve in? What do you think we can do to make girls comfortable in their skin?
I think that we must talk to our youth. I think that there's a miscommunication between the adults and the youth. I think the youth is feeling like they're not heard. And I think that they need resources. Our girl children, they need resources, because if they don't have it, why would they how are they able to further their education? How are they able to chase their dreams? I think that they need to know that they matter. I think that we can log on social media or we can see people from all over the world and not feel good enough and always feel like we're coming up short, which is affecting our youth self-esteem. And I think that it's time to cater to our children, especially our girl child. But I am passionate about the youth in general. I love my boys as well. And I just want the kids to have access to the things that they need so they can strive. So I think it's very important that we bridge the communication gap. I think it's time that we listen to our kids because, like I said, they are our future leaders. They are what's going to take our countries to the next level. And I think it's time that we pour into them because with they are our future. I mean, we're carrying the torch right now, and there's one day that we have to pass it on to them. And I think that for myself, I didn't perform as well in school when I didn't feel my best or I didn't have access to certain tools that I needed to succeed. And women are overlooked every single day. We're told that we don't matter. Our education doesn't matter. So that's why I'm kicking down doors and I'm trying to do everything that I can to show like, yeah, we're here and we're dominating and we do matter. So I think it's time that we pay attention to our youth.
Right. Actually, as we wind up the discussion, where do you see, first of all, Ashlei Watson as the brand, the poet, the model, you know, in the next 10 years? But then also, where do you see the Ashlei Watson Foundation in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I just plan to further my brand. That's why I am going on different platforms and I'm trying to get the word and the message out there so we can be in synergies with different organizations and different groups. I mean, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to model. I just did African Fashion Week in Washington, D.C. I did a big show where we were collabing with different African designers all over the world. And I've been constantly working so hard to break the mold or kick these doors down. So I see myself continuing to work. I know being able to work is a privilege and an honor. And I work so hard. So in 10 years, I just see myself being on top, God willing. I feel very blessed and very fortunate to be here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. It really means a lot.
Right. It is really an honor for us as well, but then also to inspire people down there that if Ashlei can do it, then anyone else can do it. But your parting shots, Ashlei, under 60 seconds for a girl who is watching you, wherever they are, but they want to be the next Ashlei Watson and accomplish what you've accomplished or even what you will accomplish. What is, your parting shots or last remarks to them?
I tell everybody to strive to be the best you. Don't look at the person to the left or right of you. You are good enough, you are strong enough, and you can do it. I would tell her that it may seem like someone else is prettier or better or smarter or stronger. We get lost in trying to fill the shoes of other people, but I would tell her that you are uniquely designed. You are an image of God and you are perfect in His eyes. And I will tell her to love herself first and foremost, and everything will flow.
Impressive. Put God first right there. The motto of Uganda says, for God and my country. So, like Ashlei says, God first. But thank you so much for sparing time, Ashlei, and talking to us. It is indeed a privilege. It is indeed because we know we've inspired people. All girls are down there. All right, now thank you so much for keeping it glued onto U24 television. Now from me and the entire 24 management would like to say good night, good luck, adios for God and my country. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Now until next week, same place, same time, of course, same host, good night.